in my domain. Got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane, it's over. Before you know it, we're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory.
Well, Arctic, everything that we've went through for the LVL, today's the day. The grand finals for 2018 LVL spring term of UST Teletigers versus DLSU Veritas Arcus. Summoners out there, thank you so much for supporting our stream. And this is it. Today, we will determine if UST, the defending champions, will really defend their championship title against DLSU Veritas Arcus. So, we'll be your shoutcasters for today. My name is Vulcan. With me is Arctic.
Yes, and very interesting day that we have today. I couldn't think of a better finals than having both UST and DLSU. I mean, as early as the start of the term, a lot of us casters in the process of thinking, sino ba magiging top 2 natin? We've already set in our minds na UST, DLSU probably gonna be the top contenders. And no surprise right here, we're seeing both teams up and kicking for this LVL term. And I'm really not sure who's gonna win because both sides have very distinct strengths and weaknesses. So it really comes down to who could execute better on the Rift and who just ultimately, who came in better prepared in a way.
So when it comes to the way that I've seen how the team scaled up towards the finals here for today, you gotta hand it to DLSU. I mean, their journey has been, they were one of the 3 new schools who entered the 2018 LVL spring term, for those who are just in the foggiest memory. So guys, remember during the playoffs natin dun sa other bracket, all the 3 new schools fought each other. And looks like DLSU will be one of the new schools who will fight against the UST Teletigers for today's match.
Yes, kahit medyo nagtatampo pa ako sa DLSU na tinalo nila yung Bulacan State University. Pero nonetheless, gaya nga ng sabi ko, very well deserved. And sige, let's go ahead and talk about these 2 teams because very 2 distinctly different journeys. I mean, for UST, they almost, and I say quote-unquote, almost went undefeated during the group stage. Pero there was that one team that upset them from getting that perfect streak, and that was DLSU. So DLSU, I think that pretty much shows in itself na, okay, so maybe DLSU could easily contend with UST, but at the same time, you also have to take into account that DLSU dropped like a total of 3 games kung di ako nagkakamali nung group stage. So there's the question of consistency that comes into play for DLSU given that they have dropped 3 games against FIT, Bulacan State University, and I forgot that one other team that they wait, no, I'm not sure if my memory's still, I'm trying to jog up my memory here, but yeah, nonetheless, overall what I'm really interested in seeing here is what for UST at least, if we're gonna be seeing maybe more of Nav over Cell, because we have seen a bit more success with Nav towards the top side during the playoffs. Meanwhile, coming in from DLSU, more success with Mirmo, although Comte did win that game 3, that very crucial game 3, which allowed DLSU to go for the reverse sweep during the playoffs. But ito, magkakaalaman na tayo as we head into the drafting phase.
If I can recall also something from the group stage, I do agree with you. I mean, if DLSU has someone of a sub, which is Mirmo, I think for UST they have the same thing with Nav, because when they subbed in Nav, they had great success. Same with DLSU. I don't think they've dropped the game when Mirmo was subbed in for DLSU.
Yeah, see, Mirmo is the only player in the LVL right now na undefeated pa. As far as his run has gone. Pero I'm really interested in seeing if UST Teletigers can potentially upset that if ever Mirmo is fielded. But looks like for game 1, we're actually going to be seeing Lodi Comte for DLSU in the bot lane.
So let's see here, on to the drafting phase for our first game. This is a best of 5 series, guys, for our grand finals of the LVL. 80,000 pesos, Arctic, is at stake here for the champion of the LVL. That's a lot of money.
Pambili rin ng bagong cellphone. Pero sige, let's go ahead and talk about what's happening here in the drafting phase here. Swain Camillus Wolves the Graves going to be taking away a little bit of a spread coming out from UST. Meanwhile, Lucian, Rakan, and Nocturne. I mean, these guys have done their homework at this point. We've had so many games. So it's not really as surprising that we're seeing these respect bans. Not just respect bans, but what has been optimal as of this recent patch. UST, though, heavy emphasis on securing that Morgana earlier off DLSU. In the meantime, nako, we're going to be seeing some Talia actions on Spring. He has been phenomenal on this champion throughout the LVL. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Talia as well as a Zoe.
Alam na yan, man. So it's gonna be a Talia jungle, perhaps for Esper, because for UST, they have heavy emphasis onto Esper's pool in the first rotation. Camille and Grace has been removed. As for DLSU, they're really pinching down the denial engage coming in from UST because they did have success with the Nocturne, especially with the Lucian. And I know that Esper is really good with this champion, so they don't want to give it away here. But DLSU, they will end their first phase with a Shen pick for the last rotation.
I just want to scratch that. If Spring has done excellent on the Talia, all the more so on the Zoe. And I think it was this very Zoe that was pivotal towards DLSU mounting another reverse sweep. Yung reverse sweep nga ng playoffs. But of course, Trundle as well as the Yasuo coming in from UST. Not a bad way to go as well for DLSU, wrapping that up with a Shen. So, not really sure where the Shen is going just yet though. So,
let's see though, because DLSU, they did deny the Nocturne, but for phase 2 Arctic, grabe naman yung ban natin dun sa top lane, yung Mundo being banned, not same with the Ornn, the Wukong in the Singe, because we do know that throughout the group stages, guys, for those who are still having the foggiest memory, like Arctic is having this morning, Wukong bot was one of the success that both team had, and what was one of the picks in the bot lane to pick for their bruiser. Let's see how DLSU will deal with it. They will pick up the Irelia for the first rotation and UST on the Z.
Okay, Irelia gonna be locked in. Okay, we don't want to discount where this Irelia is going just yet. Like I mentioned, there's still this uncertainty with the crazy flex picks that we have as of this recent patch, but it looks like it is gonna be a Z as well as a potential Vladimir hover over and lock in for UST. So
look at
looks
that.
like we're not gonna be having any marksmen sometime soon from USC. In which case, same could go for DLSU as well. And yes, that is indeed gonna be the case. Like I mentioned, you don't want to figure out where the early is going just yet, because we might be seeing it in the bot lane this time around.
Look at that, Arctic. Despite being in patch 8.13 live right now, I think our teams didn't have enough time to adjust to the new patch. So patch 8.12 is the game today for our both teams here, as we are going to be seeing the Vladimir and Morgana in the bot lane with the Zed in the mid lane for DLSU. I'm still curious because this Talia will definitely go jungle. I'm pretty sure about that. Irelia can go bot lane, but Irelia mid is also a thing here.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Is that the last rotation? Karma top lane?
Oh, interesting shakeup coming in from DLSU, in which case I'm actually... Okay, let's go ahead and try to put it into perspective here. So, within the laning phase at least, if ever UST tries to go in for... Okay, taunt is going to be a bit more trickier as well as landing those stunts because of the Black Shield coming in from Morgana. And not to mention, if ever Spiegel does go in on team fights, W from Shen could be coming in exchange. So... Okay, this is going to be an interesting game one. The claws are out for UST and DLSU. And like I said, these two were considered the top two in the LVL for a reason. And one of the reasons was their adaptability to the changes. As of the recent patch, they've had ample time. But as far as execution, I have no doubts in that aspect as well. So it looks like we'll be heading right into it.
Right on to Summoner's Rift. Our first game for the Grand Finals for the 2018 LVL Spring Term, as UST Tigers will defend their championship against Veritas Arcus in this best of 5 series. On to our matchup here. It looks like it's going to be a Karma in the top lane facing up against the Vladimir. It won't be the Vladimir in the bot lane we did see before. Looks like patch 8.13 had some surprising adjustments towards our teams entering this Grand Finals.
Oh man, this is a pretty darn good matchup overall, coming in across lanes. But okay, here's the thing, because for the mid lane, I feel that given that it is a Zed versus a Zoe, whoever pulls ahead for either side here, especially given the nature of knowing when a Zed and Zoe is ahead, that's something that both sides might want to look out for. I'm not really sure if that's going to be something that both Sirius and Esper will be taking into account as far as the rotations, but we'll just have to see.
But looks like UST will go for point guard as we won't be seeing any cheeky invades, but for UST, they do have a Morgana. If they do go for the face check there, I think DLSU, Pilio, maybe bind there. There's the bind. There's the damage. There's the thought away, but the ignite is ticking. Pilio gets the shield, and he will be ticking. Will he die? No, Pilio survives. No first blood just yet.
I love how Pilio luckily had his dash up. Because had it not been up, of course, he would have needed to expend a flash there. So overall, doesn't really hurt DLSU's bot lane in the long run just because of Pilio having that dash. That was so crucial because Summoner Spell down for Shen would have presented less opportunities for DLSU in this bot lane within the earlier minutes of this game.
Yeah, and looking at the bot lane matchup here, it looks like Crescio still has his ignite. Zero loses his ignite for the chance to get a first blood, so no kill pressure for the mid lane. But looking at Sirius, nag-iikot siya sa blue side, oh. But for bot lane side, okay, going back to the blue side, we're seeing Sirius defending his blue buff.
Yep.
And for Esper, he is giving up the invade here, going back.
Oh man, speaking of Esper, he's just stepped up. There's been such a build-up for DLSU. This is something okay. Bit of a trade-off.
Binding down, taunts engaged. Compton flushing out. Compton ticking down and giving the first blood to a Spiegel. A Spiegel going out to Pilio. Pilio still surviving, but for Compton, losing all summoners and giving the first blood. That is big for Tele Tigers.
Oh, that was absolutely unfortunate for DLSU's bot lane right there. And like Vulcan mentioned, the fact that both summoners were expected from Comte and he still went down in the process, that's going to be a big loss at the end of the day. But all the more favor for, okay, nice move there coming in.
It's about the time for Esper to rotate around the riverside. So for the summoners joining in right now, guys, once again, if you want to hear your team win this game, hashtag UST win or hashtag DLSU win for this first game, because so far UST, they got the first blood Arctic, and I think that's really crucial because, as you said, Comte burnt both summoners, and that's big.
Oh man. Meanwhile, looks like Sirius gonna try to go for something here.
Karma's there, binding him down. Ice Pillar in place, slowing him down a bit, but Karna will still stick through Sirius. No kill in the top lane.
Unfortunately, Cell wasn't able to supplement the damage onto Karna though. That was a great placement of Pillar though. Didn't really allow Karna as much opportunity to get the easy way out under turret. So nonetheless, trade-off here.
Oh, look at Spring landing the trouble. Sarah using the shadow to go to get actually closer to Spring. That's a big penalty there for the mid lane of UST. Looks like the Virtus Arcus VA will take a kill in a kill score of 1-1.
Yes, very, very good there. And this is why Spring, after a fantastic exhibition on Zoe during the playoffs at Game 3, was just constantly, if I'm not mistaken, was just constantly banned out for the remainder of the semifinals for DLSU. So if ever Spring really starts to build up here, especially given the fancy footwork that he could show on this champion, then it might be a bit more of a tricky scenario for USD. But then again, they do have a Yasuo, could potentially block off a lot of those skill shots from Spring once we do hit those bigger team fights. But of course, then again, it really depends on how Spring will maneuver in those fights, in which case.
Comte getting locked down by the Dark Bind, again slow by the Ice Pillar. Comte trying to get away. Comte locked up in the air. He is low, and UST still chasing this Aurelia under the turret. Lex Spiegel taking some shots, but no kill happening yet for the bot lane.
Yan ang maganda dito sa pagkakaroon ng Shen ng DLSU. Like I mentioned, with that W, it allows to block off quite a bit of that damage that would have otherwise been deadly for Comte had it not particularly been a Shen. And that's something that definitely worked to their favor, and fortunate enough, didn't really cost DLSU as much due to Comte losing out on both summoner spells dito sa bot lane.
Oh my god, looking how UST is playing this game, you gotta hand it to them, man. You gotta hand it to the defending champions, trying their best to control the bot side. Again, Comte really has to be careful. Buti na lang may flash dun sa bot lane ni Aurelia. So if he didn't have his flash then, that would have been big trouble for Virtus Arcus coming into the grand finals here, guys. So we are nearing the 6-minute mark here. So Tele Tigers still getting the first blood from the skirmish in the bot side. Goat lead, it's still very even, and pretty excited to see Arctic. This is pretty much dead even still.
Still pretty much even here, Vulcan. But so far we've been seeing quite a bit of action here from Sirius, getting quite the roam up kanina towards the top side, tapos sa bot side naman. We're yet to see a set from Esper, but then again, I guess where Esper would truly shine is kapag dumating na tayo sa punto na up na yung Weaver's Wall nitong Talia. That's where he could really get some great sets.
And that's what you want to look for, Arctic. Those pickouts with the Morgana binding is something you gotta watch out for. Hang on. Aspera going towards the top side, locking down Cell. Here it comes damage, here comes the Pebbles. Looks like Cell under pull there. Sev does not get shoved. What a flash from the Vladimir.
Yeah, luckily for Cell, he is running a Vladimir. All he needed was that Sanguine Pool to make sure that he doesn't get knocked back into the arms of DLSU. So we'll just escape just fine. Looks like we'll take the safer route. If you notice, walk all the way back in case Esper might have been lingering to cancel off Cell's retreat.
So looking at how the game is progressing, guys, it's all about creating those summoner spells, all about setting things up here, because kanina we saw UST Tala Tigers. Alam nila walang flash si Comte kanina. So that's why they were able to get the first blood here. So UST, the defending champions, really counting down the cooldowns of the summoner spell. So look at your screens. If you see a summoner spell, wait a minute, spin, Death Mark's on him, ignites off, he does rush away. Oh! Final tick there, Arctic. That's a kill for Sarah in the mid lane.
Yup, trade right there. Luckily, Sarah, in the midst of having his ultimate, could just easily trade off with Spring, even just like that. 1-1 equal for both mid laners here. You have to take note though, CS difference leans a tad bit more towards Spring in which case, but then again, this time around with Sarah already past that phase that he didn't have his ultimate, should be a bit more easier in the midst of trading with Spring, assuming that he has his ultimate up, of course, which allows him to weave around what skill shots Spring should be able to throw out.
And Spring did a pretty good job controlling the mid lane, Arctic, because looking at the CSY, 71 to 55, that's good. Even kill score in the mid lane, 1-1. 1-1 save for the Zoe. And Sparrow shoving this Morgana. Crasher is low. Crasher trying to flash over the wall. Bumps and gives a kill to a Sparrow.
Yup, better safe than sorry right there for UST. I mean, Sarah did try to respond. Fortunately, was a little bit late in on the party since he did retreat back to base earlier.
So, great job by Sparrow there to just pinch Crasher actually. So, wala na siyang flash. Teka lang si Karna. Will he get slowed by the Ice Pillar? They're waiting for the right timing here. There's the binding. Karna still getting away here, getting slowed by the pillar. He does burn his flash. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Reverse Wall coming in. Reverse Wall cutting up a Spiegel all alone there. Spiegel does not get knocked back. Standing line coming through. A dive in the bot lane. Last spread back some time for Comte. And Comte so still get the kill onto a Spiegel, but for a 1-for-1 trade in the bot side.
Yeah, unfortunately, Esper was not able to get out of turret range in time at least. So
very close call for DLSU there because it was really pinched there. 1-for-1 trade. Pressure still defending the bot side. Comte and Pillar, will they go for a dive? Comte does not have mana, so they will just chip down this turret in the bot lane.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dark Binding tries to land. But yeah, that was unfortunate for Esper right there because you had to take note in the midst of that dive coming in from the LSU. Didn't really have as much mana to work with. And like I mentioned, naging tricky yung pag-atras niya, and which is why he concurred that one last hit. If he was able to at least avoid that one last shot, that would have been the point between life and death para sa jungler ng UST. But fortunately wasn't the case, but still 1-for-1. Special out these Dark Bindings though.
It's all about the small mistakes, Arctic, that we're seeing in the bot side. As you said, yung isang moment you do not land your skill shot, you miss one hit, and going for a turret out such as aggressive as VA is doing right now, dun sa bot lane natin, you gotta hand it to Teletiger still, standing their ground and buying time. See, look at Crescio, being annoying as he can, denying the recalls from Viridus Arcus.
Exactly, and so far, still anybody's game. It's been an equal goal. Not much of a difference to speak of, actually. I was about to say goal difference. And we're only we're 10 minutes into the game already. Both sides have really been getting some work on. But let's go ahead and check out itemization right here. So, very classic build coming out here from Sarah. Already building up towards... Well, it really depends what he wants to prioritize as first item here. Definitely going to be one of those items that'll make him all the more potent on this Zed as an assassin.
Yeah, man, you gotta get your Yomu's Ghost Play or Dust Play. Cause I feel like you need that Dust Play. Cause What's an assassin without the best item in the whole League of Legends? Yung Duskblade.
Want to get that early pop.
Sarap yung pop na yan. So, let's hope that for this Zed, Zera gets that juicy pop and pops this Zoe.
Oh, yes, indeed.
So far, Arte, we're seeing a kill score of 3-3. Nearing our 12-minute mark. First Drake is Mountain. Wala pa yung contest dun sa Drake natin. Kaso, yung Tele-Tigers natin, yung defending champions ng LVL, still trying to pace themselves, really timing this bot lane properly.
Okay, so take note though, Esper's ultimate is up this time around. Although he did retreat to base, mukhang pwede ulit makapaghanap ng opportunity itong DLSU na makapag-set for a gank depending on which direction Esper does want to go. Looks like he will make his way towards this top side first though to clear off camp.
Grabe yung clear ni Esper dito, Artica. 74 CS to 58. That's something that this Talia jungle provides. Not to mention yung grabing dive ni various archers dun sa bot lane kanina. So you gotta watch out. In a way, Esper could be this long range engage and could deny a lot of vision across the map. So Tele-Tigers, they need to watch out where this Talia could be all across the map.
Exactly. And so far, in terms of doing just that, I will say though that UST has gotten, if you're gonna notice, has some pretty decent offensive vision towards the jungle entrances of DLSU, so that actually does give them a better idea of where Esper is. Just like this opportunity right here will get spotted off taking that camp towards this top side. So in which case does signal that at least for UST spot lane, they have a few minutes in before Esper makes that transition towards bot side.
And I think Arctic, they're actually setting up for this bot lane. Look at that vision being established by Virtus Arcus near the Drake. So you can see one control in the river, one war near the red side. So they're really trying to track down Sirius, and so that when Esper does go for a great gank, maybe with a Weaver's Wall, that's going to be a great success for VA. Less risks.
Exactly. And okay, pass off on blue buff for Sarah here. Definitely going to make for easier trades with Spring, in which case with the cooldown, but it's like DLSU actually gonna take a very clean Mountain Drake here towards the bot side.
Remember, Arctic, you did say that Aspire will set up for the bot lane, right? And that's it. They went for the Drake, knowing that UST Tigers didn't go for the respawns here. So what a clean take, as you said, man. So for VA, they take away the first Drake of the game, the Mountain Drake.
Yep, meanwhile, take note of positioning for both Espiegel and Cresho here. Looks like grouping up together to make sure that they get that. Oh wait, actually no, they didn't set up vision here towards the jungle side of DLSU.
What's this? Pilio did get scouted by Cresho. Wards being there. Stan United is up for Pilio. So I want to see VA, Arthur. I want to see VA go for these guys because they have the Shen and the Talia. So I'm pretty excited to see. You really wanna watch out for those guys coming for VA, but still they're being very calculated. Look at that. Spring does not have protection. Spring taking the Stan United. Spring popping the stasis. He is still alive. He flashes away from the fight, and Pilio will punish Sarah.
That is the beauty of having a Shen on your composition when up against a Zed.
Oh boy, not yet done. Weaver's Wall trapping Esper down. Crusher takes the kill. Teleport coming in. 4 members of UST. No, only 3 members still in the mid lane. Teleports have been both cancelled by 2 top laners in the top side. In the end, a 1-for-1 trade in the mid lane.
Yes, man. Oh man, that was pretty crazy. Esper unfortunately did suffer as a casualty there amidst that fight, but I think that just goes to show that. Okay, here's the tricky thing though. So luckily, Stand United was up for failure. Not to mention, Spring already expended his stopwatch. So okay, I'm wondering if he will be prioritizing Azania's Hourglass sometime soon, because the loss of that stasis will make it a bit more easier for him. Okay, looks like he did. We did go for the Azania's Hourglass, because especially since when you're up against the Zed, of course, Sarah gonna look for every single opportunity that he can to get the pop off on that Zoe. And of course, by having that early Zonias, not to mention further support from Philly whenever he has Stand United, that'll make things all the more trickier for Sarah.
And for Spring, really respecting that Zed here. Hang on. Comte up in the air. Comte gets some damage, and here comes Sirius. Are they going for the first turret here? Comte does flash away, does not connect well with the Dark Binding. Sears going in for the engager. Ice Pillars for the slow and the knock up. Sarah going in onto Pelio. Pelio getting the death mark, but their focus is on to Nerelia. Sarah takes down Comte, and the death mark has been popped. Only one member from VA was taken down in the dive in the bot lane.
Yes, and looks like they're going to be awarding themselves potentially the first turret, but oh no!
Look at that taunt! Pelio with the taunts in the bot side, denying that turret take from Teletigers.
UST unfortunately not taking into account that taunt could have easily allowed any one of these members from UST to take that turret damage amidst their stay under turret of DLSU, and of course as a result Sirius did suffer as the casualty there.
Man, Arte, kanina yung bot lane dive na yan, grabe naman yung ginagawa ni UST dyan eh. Not to mention there was still a turret. They didn't care.
Yeah.
They still went full on.
I think that first turret dive was great. The second one where they still lingered, I obviously cost them serious, in which case probably not the best case scenario. And at the end of the day, I was really expecting that UST might have gotten first turret off of that, but clearly not really the case. But anytime soon that turret will fall. And amidst those trades, again, we're still at a point where an equal pa rin between both sides, both UST and DLSU, still anybody's game. And proactivity slowly starting to build up towards both sides here, more so towards UST though.
Looking at Comte here, overextending, getting the stun united there, landing the stun onto Yasuo a bit too late. There was the Black Shield. Comte taken down by Sirius. Pelio using the stun united, but still flashing away.
Oh man, that was unfortunate for Comte. A little bit overextended there. Unfortunately, Pelio was not able to save him that time around. UST really wanting in on taking that turret towards bot side, pero mukhang papunta na dun si Esper para hindi basta-basta makuha yun ng UST.
Yung sinasabi mo kanina, Arctic, yung dead even score natin, diba? This is a great game that we're seeing here for the grand finals. Expect a really dead even game here because both of them all going for one more trade here. Spring, okay, he survives the death mark, still has the Zonia's Hourglass just in case. But Arctic, wait a minute. Oh wow, a Sparrow still not giving up the first turret. UST really forcing the first turret. Teleport is here. Karna's in the scene. Karna shredding Crash's Black Shield. And it will be Karna taking out Crash Shield. Can they go for more here? First turret at stake here in the bot side. Herald will be spawned.
Wow, amidst all the action, we didn't even notice Griff Herald getting taken by DLSU. And interesting enough, okay, so that will be first turret, and looks like DLSU might be able to go for more, but UST starting to get impatient here. And again, it cost them once again. And looks like they might lose out on 2 turrets in which case.
2 turrets, why stop there? They can go for 3 once if they can go for Sirius, but the Vanguard's edge locking him down. Ice Pillar was there to try and slow the members of DLSU. They're flashing in, they're going onto Espigo. Espigo with the last breath, but UST still fighting strong. DLSU Comte can't do much here because here comes that Vladimir for the cleanup. Salas here, and so is UST wiping the members in the bot lane. 4 members completely wiped out from Viridius Arcus.
Yeah, DLSU definitely ambitious there. Was able to take second turret, but at the cost of 4 members. Spring, unfortunately, was also a little bit too late for that party. And luckily for UST, didn't lose out as much. We're able, like I mentioned, able to get those 4 members. Let's go ahead and check out that replay. So, DLSU gearing in on this turret right here. Pelio does go in onto Sirius. They were able to take him off easily, but here's where things got a tad bit more trickier. Yasuo getting the 2-man knockup onto the members of DLSU, and it just allowed for a cleanup here. Cell, of course, making it earlier than Spring was, which is why they were able to clean up all the rest of what remained for DLSU.
Diba, Arctic, sinasabi mo kanina, yung UST pala yung impatient, diba? Pero
Yes.
dito, dun sa botlane natin, yung Viridius Arcus, medyo impatient dun sila sa Rift Herald. Medyo nakapanis sila dahil okay, you have to Rift Herald. You took out 2 turrets, but you gotta be careful when Cell makes those plays just like that.
I think at the end of the day, DLSU, they got a little bit too excited about the constant pickups. They were able to get serious and lingered a bit too long just to grant enough time for Cell na makaresponde dun sa bot lane.
Grabe yung serious. What's that Tagalog word of fight again? Kagat? Pagagat? Yung kagat?
Yung trundle?
Yung chomp?
Chomp.
Yung pero sa Tagalog natin, what did we say before? Yung kagat?
Kagat.
Grabe yung kagat ni Sirius dun. Pero looks like Spring will get a stand united. Spring still alive. Deathmark does not chuck him down. Subjugate is up. Spring pops the plan, getting slow there little by little, and it's going to be Comte. zoning them out with the stun. Meanwhile, across the map, Veritas Arcus takes away the second Drake. The Cloud Drake in the hands of DLSU.
Okay, so Weaver's wall was used. I'm not really sure what DLSU was trying to go for there. If there was an actual purpose, maybe they were trying to prevent a push in from UST. But here towards top side, though, DLSU looks like they're on the case of wanting to push up towards the top side.
Looking at that Ice Pillar slowing the members of UST. Okay, great Ice Pillar placed by Sirius, but for Sarah, he does not have his death mark, so he didn't go for the hard engage here. Hang on. What's this? 4 members of the LS respawning on the top side. They're taking down the turret slowly. Sirius going in there. Pillar does turn away. Pillar taking the death mark. And Sarah immediately getting out there. It's going to be Pillar taking the shots. Pillar is low. And Sarah takes him down. Vanguard's edge to slow the members of Teletigers down. Did not work. They have lost their support. Pillar.
Yes, great damage coming out from Sarah and getting out in the nick of time, taking down the Shen, in which case, but take note, there's still quite a number of healthy members from the side of DLSU, but speaking of healthy, Cell looking very healthy against Arno, in which case towards his bot side. Has to take note here, Spring and Esper are lingering, pero
what a nice pillar, followed up by the last bit for another Spring, popping the double stasis, buying his time, flashing it away, putting this, he was going for his Spiegels. That was so close.
I'm not sure why DLSU was still lingering towards topside. Esper had barely any mana to contend with UST. Sure, could have probably tried to work around Spring, but I don't think that would have been enough regardless, considering that 3 members from UST, not to mention the Spiegels did have that wall to block off anything that might have come off from the Talia and Zoe. So just very questionable overstay from DLSU towards the top side overall.
Kaso medyo surprising yung double stasis natin dun, Artex. So looking at how the game is progressing, 12 to 19 kill score so far. Looks like UST finally broke the gold lead by a very, very small 600 gold lead. So like we said before, guys, this is the best teams in the LVL, top 2, and this is a dead even game still.
Yes, still pretty much anybody's game here. But, man, it's been so tricky because I feel like a lot of the reason why we have been reaching equal ground is because of the over-eagerness from both sides by staying in lane, trying to push for value off of getting all these trades, but sometimes just backfiring a bit. So, either way, we haven't really seen anything definitive that otherwise tilts the scale towards either team's favor.
A very small lead, yeah, I do agree. But at least, Arctic, this is a best of 5, right? And we know that dun sa best of 5 natin, both teams, every team wants to get the momentum on their side. True. It's more about the mind games here when you're at the grand finals and what's at stake here.
I mean, at this point in time, siguro with Game 1, they can't afford these. It's a bit of a feeling out process because in all fairness naman sa dalawang team na to, it's been a while since they've actually last faced each other, a few weeks back pa. And of course, there's still, given those few weeks, there's been ample time to, like I mentioned, adjust to the patch. And nakakita naman natin yung adjustments na yun going into this game. But of course, like you mentioned, momentum is another thing working for either team here. Pero, I don't know, momentum getting first game kasi here's the funny part. We've just come off of semifinals na parehong reverse sweep ang nangyari. Whoever wins this first game,
malay mo, namala sila. Looking at the trends of our playoffs, Pillar up in the air, Pillar dashing away, popping the stakes at the right time. Great shot from Talia to buy Pillar some time, but what a flash in from Cell with the Vladimir. Pillar has been finally bursted down. Crasho takes the kill.
Oh man, Cell flashing in, scaring the bejeebers out of DLSU. Espiegel might want to be careful there, my friend. A little bit low on health. Looks like UST are going to call it quits so far. Will content themselves with that pick-off onto Pilio.
Hashtag safe Pilio. Lagi siya yung napitas dun sa clash natin, Arctic. Lagi naman siya yung una na nawala dun sa clash. So, dun kay Viridius Arcus, I mean, Pilio has to stand united, right? He still had it, but who's gonna save Pilio?
Yes. Hashtag saving private Pilio in which case. But DLSU is still lingering, looking for a potential set.
Okay, they're trapping the members of UST. I like it so far. The time is running out. And Spiegel's up there over the wall. Compton taking a stand united. Compton flashing away. And look at the backside. Spiegel is on to Espera. It's on to the Karma. It's going to be a last breath. It's going to be a Spiegel with the windmill dashing in and out. Pelio is going to be the one to knock him down. And with the taunt, with the knockdown from the Karma. That's the double kill they were looking for. And Spring for the final snipe. Shut down there. And a double kill again. This is the ace for Veritas Arcus.
Oh my goodness, Spring with those mechanics on the Zoe. Not to mention, great play coming in from DLSU, knowing that a lot of the ultimates from UST in exchange were down after taking down Filio. DLSU knew that they could pull the trigger right then and there, and it just came out beautifully.
This is great, but let's check out the replay to see what really went down. I was actually looking at a Spiggle in this clash. Arctic, go ahead.
So, looking at what happened here, so like I mentioned, knowing that a lot of UST's ultimates were down, could have gone for a fight, and of course, here comes the Stan United coming in from Filio and was able to actually get a pretty good setup here for DLSU in exchange. Just when you think UST could have traded off against DLSU here, just the damage output from DLSU in exchange. Like I mentioned, a lot of ammo was used by UST in the earlier minutes prior to this fight, which is why DLSU was able to take things quite beautifully in which case, and just a great ace, not to mention a great demonstration from Spring there on mechanics. And you have to take into account, medyo mababa na yung mana ni Spring dun, so he had to really be on point there, and he delivered.
Grabe na yung double kill dun sa mid natin, not to mention the overall goal that Spring got. You gotta hand it towards the way Spiggle played that, chunking out, zoning out the key damage dealers in that clash. He did his job going to the back line, so there's Arcus a bit split up there. In the end, a 14-14 kill score, 3k gold lead in the favor of DLSU Veritas Arcus.
Yes, meanwhile, looks like DLSU grouped up again. Will get spotted out by Vision from the side of UST, though. Looks like both sides, both Dragon and Baron is up, though. So quite a bit of a power struggle here between objectives for UST and DLSU.
But looking at how DA is moving, Arctic, they're going for their second Mountain Drake, the third Drake that's spawning in our game here. And if DA takes this away, this will be a fast Baron if ever Veritas Arcus goes for the dips.
Yes. Take note, positioning though coming in from UST. Cell splitting up towards the top side. He does have teleport, but oh no!
And Esper going in. Winwall to just deny the engage. Coming from DLSU, Esper backing away. Gets the trunk from the death mark. Comte going in for the dive here. Comte is up in the air. And the last breath, locking out Comte. And Pilio looks like it's going to be DLSU. Really not dealing enough damage, but Cell is there. Cell is going to Pilio. Pilio dashing away. Esper and Pilio is out from the fight, leaving behind the rest of his team as UST will finish up that clash with only a Spiggle being the trade-off in the clash in the mid lane.
Yeah, 1 for 3. Great play coming in from USC. Even though at the initial part, Cell was held back by the drowsy spell of Spring, it was able to... It was just a great layering of UST skills, which just overwhelmed DLSU at the end of that fight. And overall, looks like, okay, UST will just back away. Okay, so let's check out this replay, though. So, Weaver's Wall coming in from Esper to cut off Espigo's wall special. So, look at Sarah, though, going straight in to dish out damage onto Esper, which ultimately popped the Stand United coming in from Billy. Of course, with the Stand United down, leaves a lot more vulnerable from the side of UST. Two-man ultimate coming in from DLSU, and this was tricky because look at how clumped up DLSU, which allowed Cell to get the max damage after this fight, and DLSU was kind of scattered afterwards, so not exactly the best position you want to be in, especially when you're DLSU. Spring unfortunately got isolated from the rest of DLSU in which case, and just a beautiful play coming in from UST overall.
I mean, now they're trying to equalize the gold league here. Still 1k deficit for Teletigers. Next Drake is Mountain, still not just spawning. Still a bit far. The Baron is alive for both teams to take. So I'm going to watch out and want to be curious how VA, they have the engage coming from the Aurelia, but Cell, I mean, as you said, Artie, diba, lahat ng member ng VA, they're all clumped up, and that's going to be Cell's dream.
Yep.
To just chunk each other members down.
It's like the perfect moment for Vladimir to just explode in a team fight. You have to take note, Cell just got in there. So, kind of worked out there in the end that he was not really late, but just with it, just the perfect moment wherein DLSU started to clump up together in that fight. And as soon as Cell went in, DLSU dispersed in not the best positioning. So really worked out well for UST in the end.
And for UST, Cell has the Spellbind with Horribel, Rabbidan's Death Cap. He is going to deal so much damage, but looking at how UST is still standing their ground, one knocking from the Ice Pillar, Spring popping the Zonias. Will he survive? Sarah chunks him down. Pilio left alone there, trying to get away. Blast goes away with the save. And that's going to be DLSU picking off or rather UST picking off Spring and DLSU getting nothing in return.
That was so unfortunate for Spring. Unfortunately, was on the wrong side away from the rest of his teammates. And that's the tricky thing about Zoe. It might seem like she could just pop in and out of things, but that just makes her all the more predictable as to where she'll end up. So here's the case right here. So Spring sitting on top of a ward right there. So clearly UST knows where Spring is going to end up in which case. And just great ultimate coming in from Espiegel as soon as Spring was knocked up right there. And DLSU, they tried to respond, but again, UST was just way too overwhelming there to provide any real support for Spring after he went down.
They can't be too impatient right now, are they? I mean, they cannot afford to risk that again because VA, they want to secure the game as fast as they can. They have 3 Drakes. Great job for them. But for Teletigers, they have ways to stall because Cell is on this Vladimir and it's going to be really hard to deal with if VA really gets picked up like that.
Oh man, that was so unfortunate for DLSU. They were already on the offense right there, but of course because that picked off, they had to retreat. But then again, it just goes to show just how well both teams are playing in a way. It has been on equal ground so far. It's very rare that we already reach 30 minutes into the game and it's not really anybody's game just yet.
It's still dead even. Look at the goal lead. You can see the itemization too. Every member, it's all about how efficient, how great you can trade off. I mean, it's all about yung na-pick-ups lang dito. Kasi alam natin yung Teletigers, they're going for the game here, focusing on the Spring. After that, VA, they don't want to risk anymore. So if you see one member is down, I think that's enough signal for both teams to back up if they know that they can't win it. So now we're seeing both teams securing vision, denying vision in the Baron pit.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a struggle here for Baron. DLSU looks like they really want in on pushing these waves. Take note of Karna's positioning here.
Oh, what a great stun connecting onto Crescio. Deathmark is on there, taunts him away, shoves him away. Sarah taking a lot of reveals, and it's going to be the last breath for the pickup onto Aspera. Pelio is left alone, getting locked down by the binding, giving a double kill towards the Spiegel. Now USP marching towards the Baron pit.
Naku, itong nakakatakot, Vulcan. Knowing that Esper is down easily lessens the chances of DLSU being able to contest this Baron. And looks like DLSU knowing that, not even gonna bother with trying to go for a seal, just gonna try to allow Karna to get a push down towards this bot side alongside Comte. This is definitely them making the best case of the scenario. But look at this, Sarah and Cell not even granting them that opportunity to get a push in.
Oh, but they will still take away one inhibitor turret at the cost of the Baron buff falling towards UST Teletigers.
Okay, so long as UST could take full advantage of that Baron by getting a great siege onto DLSU, then it easily invalidates that small consolation that Comte and Karna were able to get towards that bot side in the form of that inhibitor turret. So really interested in seeing what configuration UST is going to go for, in which case it looks like it will be Espiegel getting a push in towards this bot side, whilst the rest of UST starting to hover over this Mountain Drake, while DLSU already getting dibs on it, in which case
4K health, 2K, UST still going for the contest. Mountain Drake is at stake here. Can they lose this steal? It's going to be VA taking away the Mountain Drake, but at what cost? UST pitching down the members of Perennis Arcus. Sirius going in with Crescio. It's going to be Spring popping the stasis. Spring is locked down. Spring turning it away. Spring is down. Cell takes it away here without any casualties from the Teletiger side. Oh, wait a minute. Aspera going in for the blast cone. Can he go for the kills here? Flashing from Sirius onto Aspera. Aspera quite low on mana. And there will just chase down this Talia. Sarah going for the blast cone. Ice Pillar for the knockoff. And wrapping it up with the ace for the last breath.
Oh man, UST coming off big in that fight, and it all came down to DLSU forcing the Mountain Drake right there, and it just allowed UST to pincer them right there. If you're going to notice, towards the start of that fight, Comte got stuck in the Dragon Pit, and it just allowed UST, again, DLSU's positioning wasn't quite the best right there, just because of how they were separated from each other, and just allowed UST the optimal set to win that fight and go for the ace.
Oh my god. Okay, VA, they have 4 Drakes, 3 Mountain Drakes. This is still dead even if the Tigers can actually get eggs by them, but hang on, replay coming in.
Yes, Weaver's Wall a little bit too early on from Esper, because even after Weaver's Wall came down, it was DLSU that actually found themselves in a scenario where they didn't have the best position. UST was able to get a great collapse of who remained towards the Dragon side, able to take down Comte, and this is just DLSU way too scattered, in which case I think DLSU at this point tried to make the most of it, but Karna was very low on mana. So Esper at the same time got a little bit too greedy though, wanted to go for Sarah, but didn't really help DLSU's cause towards the end of the day. What I will give props to though for Esper is he proved to be a great distraction wherein UST was not. I mean, they could have just allowed Esper, at least allow one member to chase Esper while the rest of UST could have gone for even more turrets, but that wasn't the case. So I'd say best case for DLSU nonetheless. And just like that, take note. Like I mentioned, we weren't able to get the most value off of this Baron. All inhibitor turrets still stand for DLSU.
They're going for a stall game here, as Arctic said, guys. Okay, they have the Baron, so Espera really trying to buy time. If you look at the map here, they haven't lost any inhibitor turrets, but is it worth it? Helio is the target. It's up in the air. Dark Binding does not connect. He's still alive. Teletiger still pushing strong in the mid lane.
Yes, Baron is still up for a tad bit for UST. So, like I mentioned, if they could at least get value by getting one inhibitor turret or an inhibitor for that matter, then I'd say that would work to at least make up for getting too distracted by taking Esper.
The Darkbind didn't connect here. DLSU is still going for the wave clear. The Baron buff has expired without any objectives taken away by Teletigers, especially inhibitor or inhibitor turrets. Pressure is still there. Backing away. Sarah's on the side. He still has controlling the vision in the brush side. DLSU, can they go forward? Not yet. Still a very tight game for both teams here.
Yes. I mean, even though we're at 6,000 of a difference, I don't think it really matters as much because we're already way late into this game already. Gaya nga ng sabi ko, napakalaking breathing room nito para sa DLSU kasi hindi sila nawalan ng inhibitor turret. And that's the thing, UST got way too distracted by trying to get the cleanup onto DLSU that they weren't able to get full value off of Baron Asher.
And looking at the items, Ziggs Convergence, Knight's Vow, all vow towards Espiegel. So you get the Subjugate, you get the Ice Pillar. It's all about bursting that one member down with the Subjugate and Last Brand combo. So that's why for Teletigers, that's why they've been successful in taking away Spring, the key targets here. So Teletigers going for the point and click burst in this late game.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing. Spring, I mean, he's had quite a number of highlights, but when it comes to these bigger team fights, hasn't really been able to maneuver as much around UST. So DLSU looks like they are starting to clump up together. We'll clear off offensive vision that UST have otherwise been able to establish dito sa jungle side ng DLSU.
Oh wow, DLSU pinch. DLSU getting locked down, getting denied, getting caught off by the Talia. They're trying to get away. Last breath there, 3-man knock of an Ice Pillar. Could this be it? UST chugging the members of DLSU down. What a decisive engage. And now they're going for the exit kills. Karna will be the target. They cannot stop the invade from the Teletigers. It's going to be a double kill. It's going to be game one as Teletigers taking away the triple kill for his Spiegel. And now it's going to be the Ace with a Quadro wrapping it up.
Yes, it is indeed clear that we have our winner for game number one. UST definitely playing a tad bit more better over DLSU, and they're just gonna hammer through these Nexus turrets and claim their prize in the form of the Nexus.
And game number two will be our reward for this one. So guys, Teletigers, the winning clash here for me was the Ice Pillar at three-man knockup. 3-man knockup for the Ice Pillar. Just locking out the members. That just settled our game. So guys, I hope you enjoyed game number one because game number two will be more exciting than that.
Yeah, I love how subtle Sirius's pillar is there. Kumbaga, it was the same pillar that got that knock-up and pick up onto Spring earlier amidst DLSU getting that siege towards the mid lane. I think that was like around the mid part of game one. But yeah, just very well played again. I think that's the tricky part right there. Since sobrang subtle ng knock-up na nadadala ng Trundle, and DLSU, that was super close quarters kasi. So they were kind of clumped up, and I don't know, that was just really well played by UST. Very subtle but very, very effective.
Very effective. So looks like size does matter for Ice Pillars based by the Trundle. So this will wrap up our game number one. So summoners out there, thank you so much for watching the 2018 LVL Springtime Grand Finals, and we hope to see you again after the short break for our game number two. So this is going to be Arctic and I signing up for now. See you after the short break. The continuation of the best of 5 series. Again, cutting up a Spiegel all alone there. Spiegel does not get knocked back. Standing on coming through. A dive in the bot lane. Last breath back some time for Comte. And Comte still get the kill with the last breath. But UST still fighting strong. DLSU Comte can't do much here because here comes that Vladimir for the cleanup. Salas here. And so is UST wiping the members in the bot lane. 4 members completely wiped out from Veridazar there. Pillar does on the way. Pillar taking the death mark. And Sarah immediately getting out there. It's going to be Pillar taking the shots. Pillar is low. And Sarah takes him down. Vanguard's edge to slow the members of Teletigers down. Did not work. They have lost their support. Pillar. Yeah, Pillar up in the air. Pillar dashing away. Pumping the stakes at the right time. Great shot from Talia to buy Pillar some time. But what a flash in from Cell with the Vladimir. Pillar has been finally bursted down. Trecho takes the kill.
Oh man, Cell flashing in, scaring the bejeebers out of DLSU.
Okay, they're trapping the members of UST. I like it so far. The time is running out. Spiegel's up there over the wall. Comte taking a standing line. Comte flashing away. And look at the backside. Spiegel is on to Espera. It's on to the Karma. It's going to be a last breath. It's going to be a Spiegel with the windmill dashing in and out. Pelio is going to be the one to knock him down. And with the taunt, with the knockdown from the Karma. That's the double kill they were looking for. And Spain for the final snipe. Shut down there. And a double kill again. This is the ace for Veridazar.
Oh my goodness. Spring with those mechanics.
Are going in. Windwall to just deny the engage. Coming from DLSU. Espera backing away. Gets the trunk on the death mark. Comte going in for the diver. Comte is up in the air. And the last breath. Locking out Comte. And Pilio. Looks like it's going to be DLSU. Really not dealing enough damage. But Cell is there. Cell is going to Pillar. Pillar dashing away. Espera and Pillar is out from the fight, leaving behind the rest of his team as UST will finish up that clash. Mark is on there, cuts him away, shoves him away. Sarah taking a lot of reveals, and it's going to be the last breath for the pickup onto Espera. Pelio is left alone, getting locked down by the binding. Can they lose this steal? It's going to be VA taking away the magic, but at what cost? UST pitching down the members of Veridazar. Sirius going in with Gresham. It's going to be Spring pumping the stasis. Spring is locked down. Spring turning it away. Spring is down. Cell takes it away here without any casualties from the Teletiger side. Oh, wait a minute. Espera going in for the blast cone. Can he go for the kills here? Flashing from Sirius onto Espera. Espera quite low on mana. And there will just chase down this Talia. Sarah going for the blast cone. Ice Pillar for the knockoff. Getting denied. Getting caught up by the Talia. They're trying to get away. Last breath there. 3-man knockoff with the Ice Pillar. Could this be it? UST chugging the members of DLSU down. What a decisive engage. And now they're going for the exit kills. Cardinal will be the target. They cannot stop the invade from the Teletigers. It's going to be a double kill. It's going to be game 1 as Teletigers taking away the triple kill for Spiegel. And now it's going to be the ace with a quadro wrapping it up.
Yes, it is indeed clear that we have our winner for game number 1. UST definitely playing a tad bit more better over DLSU, and they're just gonna hammer through these Nexus spirits and claim their prize in the form of the Nexus.
And game number 2 will be our reward for this one. So guys, Teletigers, the winning clash here for me was the Ice Pillar at 3-man knockoff. 3-man knockoff for the Ice.
못한 태도 간녀린 몸에서 가려진 볼륨은 두 배로 거침없이 찍힌 굳이 보진 않지 넌지 블랙하면 핑크 우린 예쁘장한 savage 원하던 대놓고 뺐지 너무래도 칼로 무배기 두 손엔 가득한 fat checks 궁금하면 해봐 fact check 눈 높인 꼭대기 물 만난 물고기 좀 톡해 난 toxic 유혹해 I'm foxy 두 번 생각해 흔한 남들처럼 착한 척이 못하니까 착각하지 마